back, and by the time the draft comes around, I might have the guy we're about to talk about next, which is Deonte Banks out of Maryland, ahead of Joey Porter. This dude athletically was built in a lab. 6 feet, almost 200 pounds. This dude is fantastic. And to me, what I love most about him, the route squeeze is good. I have him at about a B+. It's the breaks. The ability to read a break and to mirror route breaks to me was fantastic from Deonte Banks. I really liked him. I could very much see me putting him ahead of Porter by the end. But again, I think what really offers a lot about him is, again, I guess we differentiate on this. I think Witherspoon is much more man. I think Gonzalez is much more man. I think Deonte Banks can play them all very well, but he can't play man as at high of a level. Like if I were to give Devon Witherspoon an A+, Gonzalez an A, I would give Banks a B and a B on both, or a B+ and a B+. I think he's very sound, and I think teams will look at that like we can put him in if we have different schemes. He is a very friendly player, a very scheme-friendly player. Incredible athleticism. His foot speed was one of the top in the class. And I think to me, this dude, I think he might be more of an ideal starting corner for me than a guy like Joey Porter. I love my pro comp. I'm very proud of this, of Tyson Campbell, who was drafted last year out of Georgia. I think they are very similar size. And Deonte Banks, to me, I love. Young, 21 years old, junior, played really well, kind of stood his ground. I was watching his game against Ohio State. Obviously, I think to me penalties are a little bit of a question mark when he goes up against elite guys. Like we saw that a lot against Marvin Harrison, the Ohio State receiver, who will be the easy number one if I were to predict next year. But I really like him. I think Deonte Banks is a guy who doesn't have a lot of holes, and I think this guy's a first-round pick. I think he'll be a middle to back-end guy if I were to assume, but I really, really like him, and I think teams will like him as well.
Yeah, for sure. I've got Deonte Banks at my 5. I've got him just behind this other guy. And for me, this other guy, we'll talk about in a second. But for me, it's, again, as I said, it's Witherspoon and Gonzalez, Porter and Forbes, who's my number 4, and then Deonte Banks.
And Forbes we'll talk about next.
For me, I like Forbes, I think, a lot more than you do. Forbes is a very slight build. We'll talk about him in a second. But Deonte Banks, again, 197. He weighs the same as corners who are 2-3 inches taller than him. And I think...
And speedy. Ran a 4.35.
Super fast.
Really fast.
But for me, when you talk about, built in a lab, super fast, I'm looking at a guy like Kelly Ringo. So I don't think that...
I agree Kelly Ringo's the same.
I don't think that Deonte Banks really holds much over Kelly Ringo. I've got them graded the same. Same with Cam Smith. Same with Clark Phillips. I think this is a sweet spot for corners. I think I have a lot of them graded right around 80. This is Deonte Banks, Kelly Ringo, Cam Smith, Clark Phillips, the third are all ranked at an 80. And I think I just picked Deonte Banks because I agree with you. I think this is a good outside corner who I think he'll just be a solid star. I don't think he has the potential that these other guys have.
I think the potential is not as much there as a guy like, we'll talk about Emmanuel Forbes next, Porter, Gonzalez, and Witherspoon, but I do really, really like him.